up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past few days. We do have some big topics to discuss. Firstly, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Barcelona are in advanced negotiations to sign Jonathan Tah in 2025 as a free agent. We have all the updates around that. Also around Barcelona secretly finding a left back target for January. A great market opportunity presented itself on the table, and Barcelona are studying it. Exit updates around Ansu Fati, Garcia, renewal on Araujo, Lamine, Yamal, big injury update, registration in regards to FFP, Dani Olmo registration in the summer, and of course January as well. We have all the updates around Barcelona. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try and get the 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is by far the best replica jersey website on the market, and it's not even close. They have a variety of different items at the absolute best prices. They sent me two kits recently. First one is the retro Barcelona kit, the home kit, which I'm currently wearing right now, and also as well the second kit for that season in the blue edition. Oh my god, like the stitching is fantastic, the quality is, superb. Feels like I have the actual, original kit for a fraction of the price. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 10% off your order. That's BOY. Use it at checkout, and all orders above $80 as well will receive free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with some of the transfer news around Barcelona over the past few days, and the biggest topic that we do have to discuss is the agreement in regards to Jonathan Tah as a free agent next year, which is on the verge of completion. Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that negotiations between Barcelona and Jonathan Tah are advanced. The Catalan club is currently leading the race, and Hansi Flick is involved in the operation, hoping for a full agreement to be reached. Now, this pretty much confirms the meeting that Deco had with Fernandez about 2 weeks ago to discuss, of course, bringing in Jonathan Tah as a free agent. The interest initially sparked in that final week or two of the summer transfer window of 2024. It looks like Barcelona are still pushing for him and do hope to complete his signing. Now, Mateo Morito has come out saying that the club's idea is to sign Jonathan Tah in January to anticipate the competition, especially Bayern Munich, and secure his signing before June. What they mean by signing by January is for him to sign the pre-contract agreement, not for him to actually join Barcelona in January, but to sign it, have it pre-agreed. That way in the summer it's all sorted out, like we did of course with Inigo in the past, from Garcia, Andreas Christensen. Barcelona is optimistic and is undoubtedly ahead of the rest in the race, and in the club's ideal plan is their desire to create a quartet of central defenders that will be Araujo, Cubarsí, Tah, and Inigo Martinez. That pretty much means that Christensen and Garcia are out. The club's plans to have those four as center backs, of course, having Koundé as that fifth option, who's also, occupying the right back position. I don't know how I feel about this. I think, keeping two center backs on the verge of 30 years old with Tah, I think he's going to be 29 this summer. Inigo is going to be 32, 33. I would much rather, sacrifice Inigo for Christensen. The issue is that, of course, you need to have that left-footed center back. Like I've been very preaching about over the past few years, having the left-footed center back in your squad somewhere as an asset is very important in Barcelona's build-up play. Am I disappointed with that? Not really. I mean, we'll wait and see. Again, things could definitely change. If Inigo drops out in the next few months and the club don't renew his contract, and then they see how well Christensen does, anything can change, because this is right now is kind of the plan. Nothing is set in stone. I think what's set in stone for clear right now is to bring in Tah. He's a good player. The club sees him as a good, squad player to provide some coverage and competition. Hansi Flick is asking for him, so he's coming in. The big question now is who's going out between Inigo, Christensen, and Garcia. Of those three, two of them are going to be out the door, because of course one of them is going to leave this summer anyways, because we already have too many, and then another one we of course will have to leave due to the incorporation of Tah. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out in that center back shake-up. But what's clear right now is that Jonathan Tah is very, very close to signing a pre-contract agreement with Barcelona to join the club as a free agent this summer of 2025. Now, it was quite clear over the past few months and even recently last week when Deco confirmed that Barcelona were not going to do any sort of signing activity in January, that of course we're not going to sign anyone in January. But now that perspective is changing a little bit because of course market opportunities are on the table for Barcelona, and the club have apparently a good opportunity to sign a left back this January. Now, firstly, more people came out saying that Barcelona are planning to sign a left back this summer. Of course, Balde, good talent, inconsistent, needs competition. Gerard Martin is top 3 worst players I've ever seen represent this club. So, what is the option? We've talked about this in the last transfer video as well, but now his name is becoming more prominent and is the option of Caio Henrique, of course, the former Atletico Madrid player. Now, Candecer have come out saying that Barcelona are interested in Monaco's left back Caio Henrique, who is planning to leave Monaco in January. With Deco monitoring him for a while now, a loan with a buy option is possible. Hello, good morning, good evening, yes, please. Now, if Caio Henrique does come in, we'll probably see Gerard Martin get hooked back to the Barca Athletic squad, on a more prominent basis. Again, we're about to renew his contract. Bin him. I don't care. This is a good option. Now, I will say this. Beggars can't be choosers. We are desperate for someone to come in at left back for at least the short-term future to, again, provide the coverage and, more importantly, competition for Balde, because Gerard Martin is not doing that whatsoever. Caio Henrique, I mentioned this in the last video, he's not, very high on my list, but if he's available in January on a loan with a buy option, what can go wrong? It's basically signing a free agent at this point. You bring him on loan for 6 months, he does well, great, sign him, but hopefully the buy option is a bit favorable. I wouldn't spend more than 10-15 million euros on Caio Henrique. If he does not do that well, he goes back to Monaco, and since he has that publicity move to Barcelona, I'm sure other clubs will be attracted in him. This is going to be a very, very good move for Barcelona, and again, more importantly, a market opportunity. Again, the plan was not to sign anyone in January, but if this presents itself on the table, the club could look at it. Of course, registration will become a bit of an issue. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. But again, a Brazilian, another Jogo Bonito potentially coming in. We know down the left-hand side with Rafa. Deco, of course, being an expert on the Brazilian market and Brazilian players, should hopefully know good information about Caio Henrique. We've been looking with him a lot over the past year and a half. So we'll wait and see. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. This is the first report that's come out from Candecer. It is coming in from quite a reliable one as well. We'll have to wait and see how things do materialize. If this is for the summer, it's absolutely pointless. I'd rather go out and sign, a good left back instead of someone like this who's, a market opportunity. But we'll wait and see what the club do decide and what they do move upon. But again, a possible loan with a buy option for Caio Henrique in January is on the table for Barcelona and is being considered. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. First name up is the name we talk about a lot, probably since even August. It is Eric Garcia. Now, Mateo Merito has come out saying that Eric Garcia could potentially leave the club in the winter transfer window, with Girona being interested in the Spaniard. Other teams could also possibly approach Eric later. Now, I will say this. If we get, a defender over the line in January, like a Caio Henrique, I think the club would be much more lenient into letting a player like Eric Garcia leave. For me personally, I think we should keep him until the end of the season. I think he's an alright player that can come in handy, like we saw against in his good performance against Leganes. Can play in the pivot. He's a good option in the defense as well. With Araujo coming back from a huge injury, Christian coming back from a double surgery, out for half the season, you cannot risk letting go of Eric Garcia and just relying on Kubarsi and Inigo for the whole season. Now, also Mikel Rico came out saying that Barcelona's idea is not to let anyone go in January transfer window because the squad is quite short, and this is again where I do agree with the club. Caio Henrique coming in, for example, hypothetically, he would just basically relegate Gerard Martin to the B team. That's it. He wouldn't come in and, cause issues and provide and, take away minutes from Eric Garcia. I think keeping him until the summer is very, very important. I feel like there's a good story arc for Eric Garcia, kind of being that player that we all know is going to leave, but provides a lot for Barcelona, especially in the second half of the season, unless a good offer comes in. And for me, a good offer would be, I would say 10 to 15 million euros. Someone offers something around there, I would be tempted. A loan would be absolutely idiotic by the club. I don't think we're that dumb. But wait and see what offers do come in. Again, we can be very tempted. He is a reserve option at center back and into the pivot. We're not going to, of course, bend over backwards to keep him, but I also don't think we're going to bend over backwards to get rid of him ASAP. So wait and see how things do turn out with Eric Garcia's future. But again, one to watch definitely in January, of course, depending mainly on the offers coming in. Now, your player's exit in January that's very unlikely but very likely in the summer is Ansu Fati. Now, before I discuss his future, I do want to discuss some of the recent reports about his exclusion in the squad list against Leganes. Right before it came out, AS came out saying that Ansu Fati is fit for the match against Leganes, but was left out as La Liga only allows a maximum of 23 players in the squad list, and Barcelona had, of course, 24 available, and Hansi Flick chose to have Pablo Torre in the squad list over Ansu Fati. Now, first of all, a journalist saying this, he's basically clutching at straws and trying to predict the future. If I'm selecting a squad for Barcelona, why would I want to have 4 center backs instead of another option up front? Why would I want to have 2 fullbacks? Again, very unlikely 2 of our fullbacks will get injured when you do, of course, have other options. I think that if Ansu Fati was fit for this game, Jonathan Martin would have dropped out because he is, of course, a B team player, and Ansu Fati would have been in. You, of course, have Garcia that can be a last-second option as a right back, who, of course, played right back all of last season for Girona. You, of course, have Hector Ford, who can play both right back and left back, but we have no one in the squad that can play on the left. So that's why I think Ansu Fati being in the squad list is important. But again, Jaime Miguel, I think, is clutching at straws a little bit because Toni Marti came out saying that it's too early for Ansu Fati to be included in the squad list. In contrary reports, the plan was not to include him in the squad list just yet. Again, the club did not even confirm that he's medically cleared. If the club released the squad list, he was not in it, and they also announced that Ansu Fati is medically cleared, he's toasted. But of course, that was not the case. So I think Jaime Miguel is just, trying to predict the future, so to speak, because now if he's not included in the squad list for Atletico, and he does get the green light, he'll say, oh, look, I was right, blah, blah, blah. So, and I think also having Jonathan Martin in the squad ahead of Ansu Fati is the most pointless decision I've ever seen in my life. You have so many options as fullbacks with a natural ability of Hector Fort. You have Eric Garcia, you have Koundé, Marc Casado as a right back. You have all these options who are probably better than Jonathan Martin as a fullback anyways. So I'd rather have a forward option in Ansu because, of course, natural off the left, and we know on his day, we've never seen, of course, he can do something. Now, having the captain there, Ansu Fati's on his last leg for Barcelona, because this is it pretty much. He's going to come back from the second injury. If he gets injured again or he just doesn't perform this season, he's going to be absolutely toasted this summer. He's on 150,000 euros per week. He needs to go, of course, if he's not providing anything to the Barcelona squad. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. The only update that we do have is, of course, a big one on the renewal of Ronald Araujo. Now, Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo has come out saying that regarding Araujo's contract renewal, optimism has grown at Barcelona in recent weeks that Araujo will accept a new offer. Some at Barcelona suspect that certain members of his representative team prefer him not to renew at Barcelona so he can become a valuable free agent in 2026, which could earn them a large sign-on bonus. Now that they see Araujo excited about the project led by Flick, the club wants to take a stand and assert his wishes over those of his agent. Again, this is always going to happen. You're always going to hear these murmurs when players get close to the end of their contract, or their agent just wants a big sign-on bonus. They want to get him a move elsewhere. Again, I want you to bring this on the table. What top club in the world is going to sign Araujo? I think a lot of center backs right now are being taken. Look at Bayern Munich; they can probably take him for sure. He would be an upgrade where they already have so many center backs. One would have to leave. Man United have too many center backs and are not looking at him after investing 60 million in Lenny Euro. Of course, Madrid are not going to take him. Arsenal have, of course, Gabriel Saliba. They don't need him. City have Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Akanji. They don't need him. Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea could use it, but if you want to go to Chelsea over Barcelona, crack on, have a day. My point being is that there's nowhere where Araujo is going to be upgrading or of equal value to where he's currently at right now at Barcelona. This motherfucker is the captain of the team. Ter Stegen is out for the season. He is the captain. He's going to be wearing the armband every time he steps on the pitch. When Ter Stegen leaves in the next year or so, hopefully, he will be the club captain of Barcelona. You can't get much higher than this. You want to go be, competing at Chelsea with a bunch of their center backs and not be the captain, of course, and not be at Barcelona, living in sunny Catalonia. Crack on. We'll wait and see with Araujo. Again, the optimism is rising. I asked my source about him a few days ago. He said the same thing, that nothing has really changed since February. No agreement, no real talks has happened. There was a meeting, of course, scheduled a month ago just to kind of reignite things, but that was pretty much it. So we'll wait and see with Araujo. Again, optimism is rising, but until they actually meet and this is the actual negotiations, I will reserve this with a bit of caution. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, it is on Lamine Yamal. The club have officially announced yesterday morning that the first team player Lamine Yamal received a blow to the right ankle during the match against Leganes on Sunday. Tests carried out on Monday have revealed that the player has a grade 1 injury to a ligament in his ankle. The player is expected to be out for 3 or 4 weeks. let's analyze this. I've seen a lot of people lose their heads over this. Firstly, the big question is, why did Lamine Yamal play, 10, 20, 25 minutes in the second half with a sprained ankle? God knows. I think at that point, if I'm Flick, I'd probably risk it as well just to get the win. In the end, we didn't, so it looks like an absolute failure. But of course, if we did win, he did score, assisted, it would have been a masterpiece. It already happens. Let's disregard that. Second point. Oh, we're finished. We're not going to do anything. He's out for a month. We're Lamine Yamal Depensia, which is facts. I transmit calm. The main thing for me, and I tweeted this and I talked about this after the match against Fernandez, Lamine Yamal needs to be on the plane to Saudi for the Super Cup. That is it. He can be on the plane, maybe not play against Bilbao in the semis, maybe come out against Bilbao in the last 10 minutes or whatever, but as long as he's on the plane training and being fit and he's fit for a potential final, that for me is a W. We of course play Atletico Madrid this weekend. No chance he'll make that. Barbastro in the cup. He wasn't going to play that game anyway, so he's only missing 2 games in the space of 3 to 4 weeks. The Christmas break coming in absolutely clutch for this Lamine Yamal scenario. Now again, my question is, will he be on that plane to Saudi? Javi Miguel from AS came out with the big news saying that Barcelona's goal is for Lamine Yamal to play a few minutes in the Spanish Super Cup against Athletic Club. Yes, yes, yes. So the club, the medical staff, Lamine Yamal, their plan is for him to be on. As long as he's on the plane, that is a W. I would, of course, love him to be available for Bilbao. I doubt he'll start the game against Bilbao. He maybe could get some minutes off the bench. For me, as long as he's on the plane, that's the most important thing. That means he's going to be training for at least 2 days, a day before, a day after as well, if we hopefully make the final. And he should be fully fit for the final, whether we play Madrid or Mallorca. That for me is the goal with Lamine Yamal. We can survive the next 3 games without him. Hopefully, again, Barcelona in the cup. He wasn't going to play that game anyway, but Bilbao, Athletic, 2 big games. What are they? 2nd and 4th in La Liga as well. 1 for a cup, 1 for a big league game. So 2 big games there, but I think we know what, we can hopefully survive those without him. Again, it's a blow, only a grade 1 sprain, which of course is the best case scenario. There's grade 2 where he would have been out for about 2 months, and then grade 3, which let's not even cross that bridge. So at least it's not serious, and he should be back pretty soon by the time that Barcelona come back and play, of course. Very quickly, we do have also a renewal update on Lamine Yamal. Of course, he has a deal right now until 2026 with the option to extend until 2030, but again on fairly low wages, which of course he signed last season. There's been a lot of talks and movement about a potential renewal to of course increase his wages and his prominence at Barcelona after his rise over the past year. Jorge Mendes was doing some press during the Golden Boy ceremony, and he was asked on Lamine Yamal's future about his renewal, and he said that of course Lamine Yamal will renew his contract with Barcelona. On his injury, he's now going to recover. It's something that will be fine quickly. Hope we can do some legit move to get some drugs in Lamine Yamal. He can come back quicker than expected. That would be great. But again, on his renewal, he will renew. This is his agent, very close agent to Barcelona as well, confirming that he will sign a new deal at some point, which is big news. But wait and see on his return. Hopefully, again, the main goal for me, he's on the plane to Saudi. If he is, and if he's fully fit as well, that is a massive W. Now, the final injury update that we do have is on Toni Fernandez. Now, when Lamine Yamal got injured the first time in November, we struggled a lot because all of his other options on the wings were all injured. Ansu Fati was injured, Ferran Torres was injured, Toni Fernandez was injured, and Dani Rodriguez was injured. But hopefully, all 4 of those players will be back very, very soon. So again, this time we're going to be missing Lamine Yamal, but at least we have good options, the best options that we do have at our disposal to replace him. Unlike last time where we had, Fermin on the right wing, Pablo Torre and Gavi on the right wing. But Toni Fernandez could be a big, big asset on that right-hand side. Sport have come out saying that Toni Fernandez is scheduled to return to training with Barcelona at some point this week. The sensations in training will mark the availability to return to the pitch, and he will continue working on his recovery. Hopefully, he can be in that squad list for Barbastro, a good cup game for a player like him to, of course, develop and get some, experience. We'll wait and see if he does make that. He should be able to make that. Whether he's up to match sharpness and fitness and rhythm will be another question, but having him fully recovered, hopefully after the Barbastro game for the cup games, having him as an option on the bench will be big. Of course, he's one of the more natural replacements to Lamine Yamal on the right hand side, and he could be getting a big chance now in the first team. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. First up is of course the news about Barcelona's location for preseason next year in 2025. Mundo Deportivo have come out saying that everything indicates that Barcelona's preseason tour will be in Asia next year and not in the United States. It is not yet decided where Flick's team will play in this preseason tour, but the options are many, such as Japan, China, South Korea, or Hong Kong. So again, somewhere in Asia is where the Barcelona team will be going this summer. Again, US is kind of getting boring 3 years in a row, same games, at least this time different continents. It's gonna suck for me again watching these games in North America because the time is gonna be absolutely crazy, 2-3 a.m. preseason games. And nonetheless though, I think it will be a good change and a nice spice up for Barcelona, also to treat the Asian fans as well. We have an absolutely monumentally huge fan base out there. I think the audience and the energy will be big, so I can't wait to see that. But again, Asia tour somewhere in Asia, very likely for Barcelona in preseason for 2025. Now, in some other news, we do have some more designs being leaked for next season's attire when it comes to jackets and kits. First, the left-hand side where you see Pedri is the new design for the second kit next season. It kind of gives you that Copa 90 vintage look. I really like it. And I think that the actual official images, official promotion will look so much better. I think this color, hopefully if it looks like this, I like the darkness of the you know, kind of well, I don't even know what to call that color, half orange, half pinkish. I really do like it. Hopefully it's as dark as it is in the design as it is when we see the official images. But I like the collar as well. Again, Copa 90 vibe. We had the Spotify logo in the middle as well. I like how we kind of made that move to just the logo instead of having the name as well. That's big. Right hand side is of course the first design leak attire when it comes to Barcelona's collaboration with Nike and the Kobe Bryant brand. It is a jacket that's of course purple and black, of course purple, one of the main colors of Kobe Bryant's, you know, brand, alongside gold, which of course corresponds with the Los Angeles Lakers NBA team. Very clean look. Hopefully they do something with the black as well, maybe get it a bit more vibrant. This could be a good cop in my books. And we also have the design leaked as well for the home kit for next season. This is now a upgrade design from what we saw last time. I might get slack for this, but I feel like this kit's gonna look much better in person than it does in the design. From the design, I'll be honest, doesn't look that great. Of course, we've had worse. I think this is much better than the kit that we had last season, the disaster season. Of course, much better than the one that we had when Xavi came in midway through the season and when we started off the season with Ronald Koeman. Definitely better than that checker design that we had during COVID as well, but not the best in terms of the design, the way it looks, but I have a feeling in my balls that it will look much better in person and on the official images than it does in the design. Not the greatest, I'd probably give like a 6.5 out of 10, but based on how I envision that it will come out when the club, you know, announce it and stuff, and when it actually comes out, I see it being a solid 7.58. So let me know your thoughts on the home kit. Really intrigued. I've seen a lot of mixed reactions. Some people saying it's, you know, alright. Some people saying it's good. Some people are saying it's absolutely woeful. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the home kit, alongside the first accessory with Kobe Bryant's collaboration, and of course the second kit for next season as well. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss for the end of this video is in regards to FFP as a whole. Of course, Barcelona want to register Dani Olmo in January. We potentially want to sign Caio Henrique in January as well. Space is needed, and of course, a lot of avenues for Barcelona to do that. But firstly, we need to ratify the Nike renewal. Now, Santi Ovila from Candelaria came out saying that Barcelona explained to the socials that the Nike contract will be for 100 million per year for 4 years, and then rise to 120 million per year after that for the rest of the agreement. There are of course title bonuses that will be similar as well, whether it be for the men's team or the women's team, and the contract applied last year to Barcelona to receive only 64 million euros is a notable improvement. Note that BLM could generate up to 300 million euro per year in the medium term with this agreement as well. So overall, sensational deal for Barcelona. And of course, this weekend on Saturday before the match against Atletico Madrid, there will be a general assembly to, of course, for the members to approve the renewal and of course proceed to the final step. Big question now is, where are we at in terms of FFP? How much space do we need now to register Dani Olmo again in January alongside Pau Victor and maybe a potential signing in Caio Henrique? Apparently Barcelona were there but then got backstabbed by La Liga. This news broke from Catalunya Radio. They've come out saying that Barcelona had an agreement with Javier Tebas about the registration of Dani Olmo and returning to the 1-1 rule if the contract with Nike was signed. So Laporta and Tebas agreed that if Barcelona signed the Nike deal and get that over the line, that's not only enough to register Dani Olmo, but also officially return to the 1-1 rule as well. This kind of been hearing a lot over the past few months, especially during the summer. They go on to say that suddenly La Liga changed their position and said the agreement is not enough. So now they've gone back to the original plan that, okay, with the Nike deal, you still need about maybe another 50, 60 million year more. Laporte is thinking, what the hell? We agreed that, you know what, you can give us a bit of leniency if we get the Nike deal over the line. You can give us the 1-1 rule and registration so we can go back to normality. And now apparently they've done a completely 180 on Barcelona. The report says that Barcelona believe that there are 2 clubs that put pressure on La Liga to contemplate matters for the club. Those 2 clubs are Atletico Madrid and Athletic Bilbao. The 2 clubs that we face next in competitive action, barring Barbastro. These 2 clubs, the club Barcelona believes that these 2 clubs, Atletico and Athletic, basically told La Liga, what the F, you can't give Barcelona any leniency, that's not fair, we're going to cause an uproar, we're going to cause dissatisfaction, if you're giving them leniency, if they give us leniency, whatever the case may be. They apparently fought very hard against it, and Javier Tebas decided to go back on his word to Joan Laporta. Oh man, they don't want to see us succeed, man. They want to pray for our downfall, man. I mean, sky is blue, grass is green. Everyone's always against us in La Liga, especially in this corrupt league that's run by an opened Madridista. I'm not surprised whatsoever. I am a bit disappointed that they did go back on an agreement that was already, said. Of course, nothing signed. It was verbal. In the end, we can both change their perspective in whatever way you can. But again, La Liga clubs are always against Barcelona, always fighting against what we want to do. And again, we're still on the verge of getting to the 1-1 rule. We still need, again, another 50-60 million, whether that comes in from the Barca vision, whether that comes in from the VIP boxes being sold for the Spotify Camp Nou for the next 20 years. There's going to be a lot of avenues. We could, of course, sell Christensen just to get all that money back as well, which, again, I think is going to be a bit more difficult. So we'll wait and see. But again, what sucks the most is that there was, of course, a pathway for Barcelona. The pathway was achieved. And then, of course, Javier Tebas did a 180 and, of course, finessed Joan Laporta. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to see, of course, is your thoughts on Barcelona, on the first signing Jonathan Tah. Do you agree with that signing or not? Would you bring in Tah to sacrifice Christensen and or Eric Garcia? Second, your thoughts on the future of Ansu Fati. Where do you see it? On the registration, of course, of Dani Olmo as well in January. You think Barcelona will get there in time? You think we'll complicate things? You think we'll leave it for the last second, as we tend to do? And finally, your thoughts on a potential loan deal for Caio Henrique in January. Are you for it or against it? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.